administration saying it wants more consumers to get their recalled cars repaired. Makes sense? But guess what? They have their work cut out for them because Ford is issuing 4 new recalls right now. The 2004 Ford Fusion has been recalled 3 times in the past week alone. Joining me now, the car coach, Lauren Fix. All right, Lauren, good to see you. Tell me what Ford models are being affected and what are the problems?
Well, some of them are current 2013 to 2015 Ford Fusions and Lincoln MKZs. Now, some of them are door latches, other of them are fuel pumps, and in some cases, it's something like a parking light is brighter than it should be based on the regulations by the Department of Transportation. Let
me tell you something here. We have to show it in a scroll because there are so many recalls.
Oh, I know.
You can't put it in one full screen. Tell me what's going on with the Ford Fusion, though. That's a bunch of recalls for a lot of different things, and some of them are dangerous. I mean, you sort of intimated that some of the other things weren't important. The Fusion recalls are.
Right, they're not as critical. I think it depends. And the Fusion recalls are pretty aggressive. And in some cases, what you have to know is like an attachment to a door latch is obviously pretty critical because it's where it keeps you in the vehicle. The vehicle itself, it has to do with all the plants. They had a plant in Michigan, one in Ontario, and one in Mexico. So these different plants, and the Fusion is a car that is one of their flagship cars. They sell many of them.
Now that's interesting because I was wondering what kind of role that Fusion model plays. Who are they trying to get to buy that? Is that an entry-level buyer that they're hoping graduates to more Ford cars over time?
No.
Because it's not just the latch, it's also steering, it's also other problems, the fuel pump as well. So these are things that are critical, and now you're telling me the very car you're hoping that first-time buyers will get into
would be the Fiesta. Yeah, the first-time buyer would most likely be a Fiesta or a Focus. When you're looking at the Lincoln, obviously you're talking about someone who's a little bit more affluent. The Fusion is a mid-range buyer. You're looking at probably your 30s to 45-year-old, and I mean, if we're talking about like demographics-wise. But the vehicle itself is a very popular vehicle. It's as popular as a Taurus. And when you're looking at what Ford has done based on these particular problems, one's a door latch, one is a coating that's on a fuel pump that is plugging up only one incident. Some of these have no incidences. They are being extremely proactive.
Look, my view on this is that you need to get the car fixed. And I don't want to dissuade people from getting the car fixed by saying these are unimportant because
nothing's unimportant.
If your door isn't going to stay closed, that's a problem.
Right. I think
let's move on.
The big thing is Rosekind is putting pressure on all the manufacturers that even the littlest thing needs to be addressed.
Okay, so let's move on to that, to NHTSA, the National Highway Safety Traffic Administration. They are trying to put pressure on the CEOs of these companies to get this fixed. But at the end of the day, it's really the consumers that have to do that, right?
Right. The consumers report it, so that's how they get the information. Also, dealers will report we're having a trend of this particular problem. But the manufacturer, it is their responsibility to say, hey, listen, we have a problem. We're seeing a trend. Let's be proactive rather than waiting so we don't have an ignition switch problem where we're having some serious issues. And that is the responsibility of manufacturers. And because of the way things were run previous to Rosekind, I think a lot of stuff sort of got, well, we'll worry about it. We'll take care of it case by case.
And here you're talking about the new head of NHTSA, the National Highway Safety
He's going to be very heavy-handed.
National Highway Safety Traffic Administration. All right. I think what's interesting about this, though, is I don't think NHTSA has done enough.
I agree.
And I wouldn't give Rosekind a free pass here, frankly, not yet, because I think the entire organization is way too close to the industry. Do you agree?
I agree, because what's happening is people that used to work for National Highway Traffic Safety Administration leave, and they end up working for the manufacturers. So they know how the system goes, and they know how to beat the system. So although manufacturers are trying to do their job, NHTSA is trying to do theirs, the fact is a lot of stuff gets dropped through the cracks. And if you have a car that's more than 10 years old, you're not even addressed. You're just left on your own, and that is a problem, and that's a danger for consumers and drivers that are on the street.
Tell me where to go if I'm worried about a recall and I want to find out.
If you want to get a full list, you're supposed to go to National Highway Traffic Safety Administration or safercar.gov. They don't have everything. As a matter of fact, cars.com, who I have nothing to do with, I have to say I'm happy they had the full list that was bigger than the list from safercar.gov.
Kidding.
So sometimes the dealer doesn't even know. So I would say print it out, take it to your service guy and say, listen, this car's under recall. I want to get it fixed now. Don't waste your time on the street by just saying, I'll get to it.
And if they don't have the part, ask for a loaner.
Absolutely.
Okay. Lauren, thank you.
Thank you.
And now we want to know what you think. Here's our question tonight. Has your car been recalled in the past 12 months? Have you even thought about it? Have you gotten a letter? Let us know. Log on to jerrywillis.com and vote. I'll share the results.